So again, when we're talking about pricing, we have to talk about horizons. Whenever we're talking about anything in Start Your Own Business, you've got to sort of have that very clear picture of horizons. Horizons one mean, how do we have to price in order to get people to try us? So that's a different pricing strategy to how do we need to price in order to merchandise our margins and get reasonable margins. And then how do we need price so that we're focusing people on our value, not on our price. They're buying from us because of the value we create, not because of the price we charge. And that's more sort of Horizon 3. So that's what we go through. So Horizon 1 is about customer acquisition. The questions you're asking about pricing is simply, how do we get people to try my product? How do I get people to like it, to become repeaters, and even better, to become referrers? In other words, early evangelists for my business. So you're going to be talking about product discounts, giving away stuff for free, or giving away added value. There's a lot of that going on in Horizon 1. But what we've got to be careful of is that Horizon 1 doesn't become Horizon 2. Because discounts are not a good way to build a financially sustainable business. But sometimes in Horizon 1 we need to go there because we need to get people to try us. They say you need to have a sort of a 20% benefit to get people even to give you a try. So if you're 10% cheaper, they won't try. If you're 10% better, they probably won't switch. You need to be about 20% better or 20% cheaper for someone to actually decide, okay, we'll switch. So in those early days, Horizon 1, you're doing whatever you can to get traction, and you're going to have to be quite creative. By the time we get to Horizon 2, this is usually around our break even. We've finally got to a position where we've got enough customers so we're breaking even. No one's making any money here, but we're not bleeding to death. We're out of intensive. We're then starting to get our assortment in balance. We're starting to get a nice broad range of assortment, and the beauty of an expanded assortment is we can get different margins. In the early days when you first open, there's not a lot of scope for margins, but as you add items to your assortment, you get more scope to do that Himalayan herb that's very exotic. You can get more margins out of that than you can out of chamomile tea, which is already priced at Coles at a very low price. So what happens as you expand your assortment, you actually get more opportunity to chase higher margins. So you need to know your market, you need to know the low margin leaders, you need to know the things that you can't put the price up on because everyone knows the price of that, but you need to be bold enough to know the things that you can chase higher margins on. And that's done through your assortment. Assortment means the range of products that you offer. You need to be thinking about, I'm now going to start to introduce products in my assortment that I know I can get a higher margin from. Because you're through that traction stage and you're now looking to chase a bit of margin. Once you get to Horizon 3, this is when you've got a profitable business. Profitable in the sense that it's paying you a wage. We're comfortable, we're not dying, we're not bleeding to death, we're okay. We're not probably getting a great return on investment, but we're there. We now start to explore Horizon 3 stuff, and that's where we explore products and prices that are based on what customers value. So we're looking for glass of water in the desert people. We're looking for pricing where people are so desperate for our stuff or people value our stuff so highly, price doesn't become an issue. We chase that in Horizon 3. And even though we're going to have some splatterings of it in 1 and a little bit more in 2, so Horizon 3 is when we really start to chase those sorts of products. Because they're the products, or that's the marketing that really starts to give your business a chance at high returns, and it makes you a very profitable business. But mostly that's put into Horizon 3. So customer acquisition first, merchandise your margins is what they call that, where you put higher margins on some products and lower on others based on how you perceive the market. And then ultimately the customers that buy from you are buying because of the value that you create, not necessarily because you're a cheap price.